welcome. How are you keeping? Good. I'm out and about in the Creag Meagaidh Nature Reserve. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've got here, and to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised there's some snow. I didn't expect it. I'm not really planned for it, so I'm not 100% certain that this is going to be a success. Anyway, I set off from Arica this morning before 6 and just got here. It's around about 8:30 now, 8:45, something like that. And I've got a couple of days, got my camping gear with me on the back, and the plan is to do 3 Munros today and camp off the end of the last one, which is Creag Meagaidh, I think it's pronounced. But there's 2 more, but all the elevations to start with. Then once you're up, and hopefully, I mean, it looks dirty up there, so I don't think it's snow of any great depth, and the forecast is to be clear, and it is clearing behind, as you can see. So I'm positive. Just a nod to the nature reserve as well. Brilliant facilities on arrival, and really good. There's lots of information there. Toilets, leaflets, free car parking, everything here, so really good. I shall drop a donation on my way out. Not that kind of donation. Anyway, I'm going to head up this, turn right now off this track and head up these stone steps and continue directly up the first of the Munros, and as I said, kind of gets us up to altitude, if you like. It's turned a bit sloppy now, and I keep getting these little, it's not snow, it's just like cold rain. Well, back from Iceland anyway, which was quite a trip, and well, stick with it. I've got a few stories and a couple of images and some video to show you from that. But what a country! Never mind what an island, what a country! Fantastic place. We're going back, you know. Up to 1,800 feet now, so past halfway, which is good. It's cold and it's still very claggy on the tops, and it's going to be that freezing stuff as well, so I'm going to have to properly layer up. I think I'm getting lucky. It just looks like it's starting to lift, so with a bit of luck I'll have a nice, I can see the Loch Laggan now as well. I'm at the top of the first Munro now, Kinlochleven, and it's pretty bad up here. I'm actually cowering behind the cairn at the moment because the wind is brutal. There's not a lot to see because there's a bit of a shower in at the moment, but I'm up. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad over on the second Munro, but I'm just going to sit here and have something to eat and drink for 10 minutes and just see if it blows over. I'll probably make it over to the second Munro without too much problems, but whether I actually go the last one. We'll see. I might actually drop down to the Lochan early. We'll see what it's like when I get around there, but it's turned pretty grim up here now. But all okay. I've got all the right gear, I'm happy enough, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to get some food though, because I don't want to get cold or run out of energy, so I'm going to do that now. Discretion rather than valour. It's too rough for me. I don't really fancy hiking all the way across there for 2.5–3 miles into that headwind, and it's I keep losing visibility, and I don't have the confidence to do that. So what I've done is I've dropped back down. I found my footprints, so I'm going to head back down, and if I can contour down onto the path I was going to pick up on the way out, without going too far down, I may still have a walk up to the Lochan and camp there. If not, I'm going to find somewhere a little bit more suitable and probably just have an early finish. But it was very unpleasant. I was starting to get cold as well, even though I've had something to eat and drink, and well, I'm in it for fun. I just want to have fun. Right, I'm going to head a bit more down here. Fingers crossed we don't have any slipses, and I'll pick it up a little bit further down and let you know what the plan is, if I have a plan. I think it was a good idea to come back. It's got even worse up there. I think I was watching Ray Smith video last night, and he was talking about gut feelings, and well, I think I'm making the right decision. Looking beautiful again now, isn't it? Well, it's still clinging on top, but it's certainly sticking its tongue out at me now, isn't it? Another day. Right, my thought processes are, I'm going to camp on this hill somewhere. There's a nice little spot over there. I've got myself down to a plateau now. There's actually a chap coming up walking his dog, so I might go over there. It's 1 o'clock, so it's still early like, but the alternative is just jumping in the car and driving somewhere and car camping, and I don't want to do that. I've come up here to spend the night, and if I can't spend it over at that Lochan, I'll spend it over there. So I think I'll go and have a mooch and see if there's a camp. It's a bit stony around here, but I shall report back. Sure, where were we last time? There were a chap, wasn't there, coming walking his dog. That were half an hour ago, that. And this dog, it was a black dog, Alsatian like, very, very big white teeth, very, very noisy, and clearly looked at me and thought of dinner. And it was almost out of control, this dog. He barely had it under control, and this dog, as I was walking past, made a right proper lunge for me. Didn't manage to bite me or anything like that, but ultimately the dog owner almost lost control of the dog. He fell flat on his face whilst the dog was trying to have me. And that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is that he just thought it was very, very funny. And for the last 30 minutes it's really, really niggled me as that. You know what I mean? Everything's kind of okay in the world, you know, and all that kind of stuff, and it just takes one silly moment just to get under my skin and really spoil, which has obviously been a challenging day so far, but nonetheless we had high hopes of it finishing well. But all I want to do now is just get off this hill, because I don't want to see the dog, and I certainly don't want to see him on the way back down. Right, back in the car now, and I've just gone on to, I've got an app called Overlander, and it's basically I think it's like a camper van app, you know, where they pull over on lay-by spots anyway. They do camping as well on it. And I've had a quick look and I've closed my eyes, sung a fairy rhyme and put my finger on the map, and I'm heading to Kinlochleven. Well, cheers everybody. 4 PM, just on the outskirts of Kinlochleven. A little bit different from up on top of that mountain, wasn't it? But this is it's a lay-by on the outside of Kinlochleven, and it's just far enough away from what is generally a quiet road anyway, so it'll do after what's been a hard day and a chilly one. Anyway, all set up now, so a couple of beers just to check that the bladder's still working, and then I think I'll have something to eat. Right, Iceland. So we went to Iceland and it was great. There's had a load of excursions all planned and all that kind of stuff, with a few of them cancelled because of the earthquakes and whatnot. And I felt my first earthquake. So the actual hotel was shook and the door was shaking, that kind of stuff. There were about 100 to 200, 300 earthquakes every single day. But there were it was the sort of like 4.5 plus that were actually hitting Reykjavik. But they weren't causing any trouble. But we'd booked to do the Northern Lights, to see the Northern Lights thing, so they put us on a coach, take us to the best place in Iceland to go see them and all that kind of stuff. But when we landed there on the first night, we got there on the first day, it left Edinburgh at 6 o'clock in the morning, so quite tired for the day. And then I was checking the app and people in Reykjavik were saying they were seeing it, so I said to Mrs. Bobbin, let's go down to the front and go and have a look. So we went down to the harbour in Reykjavik, and well, what can I say, we were very, very lucky, and this were all clear to the naked eye and all that. Didn't need the camera, and there were crowds pulling up and all that kind of stuff, and I took a lot of photographs, but this was all done by GoPro. Really lucky. Absolutely fantastic show. Well, it wasn't free because we had to get there, but when we actually did the Northern Lights tour, obviously the Northern Lights didn't show, so we had a Blue Lagoon planned in as well, and that got stopped because of that's very close to Grindavik where all the earthquakes were, and that was cancelled. But what a place, but bloody hell it was cold. I saw an humpback whale. We did lots of things. Took some nice photographs, and we would definitely go back again, probably in summertime, and see it when it's green, and dare I say it, probably go over, hire a car and take the tent. Talking of tents, we've got a new family member in the Boardman household. Another tent. I know what you're going to say, so forget it, don't even go there. This is not my tent. This tent has been bought by Mrs. Boardman, mostly. Obviously I had to do the research and so on and so forth, but when we were talking about potentially visiting, going back to Iceland and all that kind of stuff, and now Mrs. Boardman's inviting her along to these al fresco soirees. She said she likes the Abisko Lite too, but she don't like climbing over the top of me all the time. Some you win, some you lose. So that was my first tea. I've got something else for a little bit later. It's 4:30. It's very nearly dark now. There's almost a full moon rising, and I've got a time lapse going of the over on the west. I don't know much. I don't know if I'll use it. There's not a great deal of movement compared to on top of that Munro today. There's hardly a breath of wind down here. Right, I'm gonna have a couple of beers and then I'm just going to relax out here for a short while whilst I can, because it's very nice. and then retire to my tent. It's been a cracking day, hasn't it? It's been a different day, that's for certain. Freezing cold tops of Munros and blizzards, and who'd have thought we'd have found ourselves back down near Kinlochleven, car camping in a lay-by. Anyway, it's a comfortable night. It's been good exercise and it's been good to get up high, and I still look back on it and it was definitely a very, very good decision to come back down, because it got worse. But it's a cold night, and it does remind me why I really like camping in frosty weather. It's very, very cosy in here, very cosy, but well below zero now. I've actually got a gadget thermometer outside, so I should be able to say what temperature it is, because I know you like your stats. Anyway, I've got my tea ready now, it's just about done, so I'm going to get tucked into this and listen to a bit of music. Good morning. It's an absolute freezer at 7 o'clock. Right, I'm gonna get up, start packing away. All packed up now. Just after 7:30, so we're in a good place. That was a mixed camp, wasn't it? So the heights of a frozen Munro down to the Loch level at Kinlochleven, and a good night. I enjoyed myself, good sleep. There were a couple of cars visited during the night, at the latest at 11:30. I don't know, there were 4 doors slamming and they were right next to the tent, and the engine was left running, so I don't know what they were actually doing, whether they were stopping for a smoke break or whatever. But anyway, they didn't stay long. A camper van turned up and all that kind of stuff. I suppose this is one of the negatives of camping roadside, but it was good for me for the night. So back home now, get all this edited, getting in the can, and hopefully out on Sunday night. And you should be watching this now. And well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs is up, says you know what you need to do, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for the new.